Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is the LOKITHOR JP400. It's a battery jump pack for vehicles starting, and it also has an inflator, a flashlight, and of course the USB backup battery for charging devices. Now I've got it in the accessory case. This is an add-on, totally worth it, and I'll tell you why soon, but having a case like this to me is really important. Now this does have the ability to be used just as a standalone area light. It's got a 300 lumen light out, or strobe, or flashlight right there. It's got a place to plug in your air hose. Looks like a standard connection, easy to read display, and then here's where you'd plug in your battery connecting cables. It also has a USB-A and USB-C out and USB-C in charging in those two ports there. Pretty solid design. Up at the top of this case, and again, I think the case is a fabulous idea versus just the bag that it comes in. It's got the air hose, simple design, Schrader valve, screws right in, but make sure you screw it in tight enough. I'll get to that in my demo here. And then it's got the battery cables, and those are outstanding cables. Some people think the cables are a little short, I can agree, but overall, the way they grab. Little bag of accessories, USB-C charging cable, and then the instructions, which I think carry with it, because this does have some other features you may want to know about. But anyway, the case holds all this stuff just fine, whether it's connected or not. And what I'm doing here is showing you I just threw it all back in, and I'm zipping it up one-handed. Why this case is critical is because often after you've jumped a vehicle, you want to get going, or you move on to something else, whatever it is. The starting current on this thing is 1500 amps with a peak current of 2500 amps. So anyway, I've used it to jump start an ATV that has been sitting a little bit too long, connected it up to the battery, and fired away. Now here's an example of how this thing works. I've got it sitting next to some old wheels. You can set this up to be the inflator and choose like PSI. I just had it at bar, PSI, with some presets. You can see a couple of different ones that I've already used. We're going to go ahead and start from scratch to inflate this tire. It's running low on this little trailer here. The organization, if you put stuff away, it's plenty good in this case. And the reason I say that is because sometimes you have to really kind of wedge things in and fold it up just right. And anyway, this is a little brass fitting that you screw in. Now make sure you get it tight. I didn't right there. I just hit the end and stopped. Now what's going to happen is later on I'm going to get a leak there because it's been vibrating for a while. But it still did great. So anyway, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to set the PSI for about 40 pounds. That's what I'm going to put into this trailer. I can go a lot higher, but this is one that we run mostly off-road with, towing stuff around the homestead, things like that. So I want it to run a little bit soft, but still not puncture if we overload it. Drop this on, snap it down over the Schrader valve, and here's where I pump up or set up the pumping level in PSI. It goes pretty quick. And I'll stop it at 40. If you hold it down, jumps by fives, and then push it individually for smaller increments. It's good to, I guess, 150 PSI. That's quite a lot, but what you're after mostly is air movement here. Now, this is going to start out great. It just punches away. You can see that jump from 0.4, 0.7 to 3. It's doing great. But pretty soon I develop a little leak because I just didn't screw that on, so it's going to run a little slower. But it still pumped this thing up. Check it again here after a moment. And I have got, what am I at now? 9 pounds. Check it again here. What do I have? I am at, looks like about 26. Again, 39. And what I noticed is my phone camera that I'm using actually one of the cameras has got a different sync rate. I noticed it was leaking. It hit 40 right after I did that and shut off. I should have been paying attention. But anyway, when I tightened it, I noticed it got really hot. So I've got a little IR thermometer here and I'm measuring. And if you look at that 190 something, whoops, that's one's 98. Let me get it back on here. Right here, this will work. This is 178 degrees, so it gets really toasty. Anyway, so here it is charging back up after a day's work. A fabulous design. This is just great. You always have to have one of these. There are so many times when you need to top off a tire, check pressure, use a flashlight, etc. So there it is, the LOKITHOR JP400. Retails about $100. You can get some money off. And then the extra case is about $23 and definitely worth it. With that, Doc out.